Blog Talk Radio.
You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop, from Mr. Coop, from Mr. Coop. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop, from Mr. Coop.
Welcome to the Bit Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. And today, guys, we actually have another special show that's going down. Season 4 is still going strong, guys. Make sure you go to the website, www.thebigscoopwithcoop.com, where you can check out episodes from Season 1 all the way up to present season, Season 4. An update is coming soon to the website. Also, make sure you check out the Twitter page, twitter.com/MCOOP317, and of course Facebook, facebook.com/The Bit Scoop with Coop. Now, guys, today, wow, what can I say about today? My guest today has done something that a lot of filmmakers are trying to get accomplished, trying to get established, and doing things that has not been done in a while. And I will tell you the reason why I say that in a few minutes. But he's an established filmmaker. He is actually doing big things in the movie industry itself. And guys, when you hear who this is, some of you all will probably know who this is, and I know you all will. And some of you all be getting introduced for the first time to him. But guys, it's always a pleasure to have new people on the show. And he is, once again, you're about to learn something new from him. So enough about me. So let's go on and actually bring up who I actually have on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Alex Oshmyansky. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Coop. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Yes, sir. Anytime. How's your day been so far?
Oh, it's been great. Just doing things. How about yourself?
Oh, man, it's been busy. I'm in North Carolina, so we had a little bit of warm/muggy weather. Not really, but we've had better days. But at the same time, it's been a good day. It hasn't been scorching hot. So that's one thing I can't complain about.
I lived in North Carolina for 4 years at one point, and August can be brutal.
Yes, brutal is an understatement, but it's been a good day. It have. Now, Alex, on this show, we always talk about how you started in your career, your success, give advice on how to get into your career, and so much more. But we're gonna start from the beginning, Alex. When did you first realize that you wanted to get into the movie industry?
Well, I think like a lot of people, I fell in love with the movies at a very early age. Further back than I can remember, to be honest. I loved watching the sort of big budget movies when I was a kid, and kind of grew into watching sort of more, quote unquote mature cinema. So, I guess it's been a dream as long as I can remember.
That's cool right there. And, and that's a good thing, because whenever you start at a young age having a dream that you want to do something and you pursue it, it feels like that you have accomplished so much. Even when it's in your beginning stages of your career, the middle part of your career, or even at the end, when you're further veteran down the road, people that's been in the game for 40, 50 plus years, you can always look back and say, I always wanted to do that, and you actually accomplish it. So, Alex, congratulations on that for getting to where you are right now. I'm glad you held on to that dream because of what you actually done in the movie industry already. But, ladies and gentlemen that's listening worldwide, you will hear about that in a few minutes. What type of movies did you enjoy watching at a younger age? I know you said the big budget ones, but were you like a horror fan, suspense fan, action?
Oh, I think I was more like an action and comedy guy. I think the first movie I can remember seeing is, you remember the old like cheesy 90s version of The Rocketeer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're remaking that now. They're remaking everything from the 90s. It was just sort of those big budget action flicks that initially drew me into sort of the film world. And then when I got a little older, I started watching like Hitchcock or Truffaut or the sort of great directors of days gone by, and just sort of fell more and more in love with it over time.
And you know what? The classics are always still good because, like, one of my personal favorite movies is and I know you know this movie also, is the Back to the Future trilogy.
Yeah.
Part 1, Part 2. I like Part 3, but I mean, it kind of went kind of left field to a certain extent. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, if you're listening, I apologize, but the movie was still good. The thing is with that, you can go back and watch classics, and you can see things that you didn't remember seeing when you was younger, or even at an older age, you'll go back like, wow, I don't remember seeing that in the background, or I don't remember this happening. So the classics are always good, Alex. And the Hitchcock ones, man, those I can actually sit there and watch, and even if I've seen the same one 2 or 3 times, there's something that will always stick out to me where I didn't recognize it before. And I'm wondering, am I the only one that's actually had that happen too? Just seeing something and then it pops up on your screen.
Oh, no, not at all. And, it's kind of weird watching the classic movies, especially since, inevitably growing up, you see the modern films more, and then you go back and you're like, oh, that's where they came up with that idea. Because, the film world recycles ideas from the past, or, uses techniques of the masters of the past in modern film. So when you watch like, Hitchcock's films, and you see them starting with a close-up and then zooming out and out and out until you really recognize where you are, and you're like, oh, that's where that technique came from. He came up with it. So it's really interesting to watch just like from a history point of view, because you're like, oh, I mean, we take all this stuff for granted, but at the time it was revolutionary.
And that's true. That's very true. And I mean, that can go from movies to even television. I personally think that we will not see, well, I'm not going to say never, because in this industry I've learned never say never, but it would be good to go back even in the television industry to the late 80s, early 90s, or even mid 90s. You remember like the TNBCs, the Saturday morning things like the Saved by the Bell, the 90210s, and all that stuff like that. I know they tried to rehash the 90210 again, but if they could get back to the television sitcoms, the true ones, that would be great to see again, just from a nostalgia point of view.
Yeah, they really don't do those as much anymore. I mean, I know, what's his name, Michael Laurie has his stuff on CBS, and I think that's probably the last of it that's left, like The Big Bang Theory and such. Like 2 or 3 sitcoms on CBS, and I know there are like scattered ones elsewhere, but like for the most part, yeah, it's kind of gone away.
That's true. That's very true. And since we're talking about, things being done away and things being rehashed, do you feel that the movie industry is at an all-time high as far as it goes for like quality and entertainment?
In a lot of ways, I think it is. It's like everything kind of in the modern world, like it's gotten more like stratified, like more niche driven. And like, so, the stuff that's good is better than it's ever been, and the stuff that's bad is worse than it's ever been, kind of thing. And, whatever your particular interest is, like the stuff in that little niche is better than it's ever been before. You just gotta kind of find it. For me, like the kind of stuff I like I think the best stuff's actually kind of on TV now. I know that's cliche to say, but like it's really true. Like stuff, series like House of Cards or Breaking Bad, like they were just amazing. So if you're into that sort of like prestige fare, like there's more of that than there's ever been. If you're into like the big Hollywood blockbusters, sort of less story driven, but more just like taking you on a ride type of stuff, that's more amazing than it's ever been before. So yeah, in a sense, I think it is.
And I agree with you on that, Alex. I do, and I like those type of shows. Because like I said, the sitcoms was my teenage career high, and I used to love watching those type of shows. Now, people that's listening worldwide right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not knocking the reality shows. I'm not doing that. I know a lot of people like that, but it's getting so real that it shows it fakeness sometimes. It does. And I'm more of the sitcom where you can hear the crowd laughing in the background, or even if the crowd is not there, the fun shows. I do miss those. I really do. Movie wise, I'm the same way. I'm glad they're rehashing some of the classics, though, Alex. I am. But there are some classics that need to be left alone. It don't need to be rehashed.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to name any names on that one, but I feel that at the same time that the movie industry is at a high, and because like what you're doing, Alex. Now, and everybody that's listening, I'm going to tell you what he's doing in a minute, but like what Alex is doing, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of other people are doing, they're actually taking the movie level to the next level, or the movie industry to the next level. And you got to keep on watching Alex, everybody. Make sure you follow this guy. He's doing big things, and he's going to continue to do bigger things. He really is. So let's get into it, Alex. What you've done. Can you tell everybody about, the film Career Opportunities in Organized Crime?
First, thanks for the kind words. It's very nice of you to say. But yeah, no. So my film, which is coming out this next month, is called Career Opportunities in Organized Crime. It is a mockumentary type film about the Russian mafia. The sort of plot of the film is that these Russian mobsters are having a difficult time. So they decide to try to get new people to join the mafia by making a recruitment film. And the movie's kind of a film within a film as they're making the recruitment video. And the part of it that's gotten a lot of attention is that we, while we were filming the film, we simultaneously shot it with 360-degree virtual reality cameras. So essentially cameras that see every part of the room where the action is taking place. And then when you watch the footage later in a virtual reality headset, like a Google Cardboard or Oculus Viewer, these ones that are on the market now, you actually feel like you're in the room with all the actors from the movie. Like you feel like you're in the movie, so to speak, and you see the action taking place all around you. And to my knowledge, this is the first feature-length film that's ever been shot this way.
And I can't think of another film that's been shot that way also. Now, Alex, how did that actually come in your mind, though? I mean, I understand, getting the film and you have a story in your head and everything, but what made you think about getting the 363 virtual reality cameras?
Well, I've always been into technology and, sort of new toys, so to speak. And, I just thought there was a lot of potential in this area for making the film experience more immersive. So, part of my background is I'm actually a doctor as well, and I'm a radiologist. And one of the people that reads X-rays, CT scans, MRIs, and such. And, as part of that, I've done neuroimaging in the past, reading brains, MRIs. And there are these studies that show using functional MRIs, sort of MRIs that read your brain while you're looking at various things, that when you watch a movie, you enter sort of a different brain state. So, when you're like gathered around a campfire watching a film, and then, somebody next to you pulls out a cell phone and it kind of like knocks you out of the moment. Like It's actually kicking out of this kind of brain state where you're sort of immersed in the story. And, it's conjectured that that's kind of from, our caveman days where we learned life skills from listening to people tell stories. So we've sort of evolved with this sense that storytelling is really important. And, when the chieftain's telling you how to like hunt wildebeest or whatever we did back in caveman times, we sort of entered this sort of trance-like state where we were with him and felt like we were with him when he was hunting the wildebeest to help us learn how to do that. And we still sort of get that today when we hear good stories, and not just when watching good movies, but even when just like reading a good book or hearing a good storyteller tell a story to us in person. And the more sort of immersed you feel in the story, the more intense the sensation. And I thought it'd be awesome to experiment with that with these new really immersive technologies that are coming out, and try to answer the question: will the sense of actually being inside of the movie heighten this sense of enjoyment of the film itself, of the story itself?
And I believe mission accomplished. Seriously. You've done it. I can't wait for it to come out. I really can't. Because you've done something revolutionary where nobody else, if someone else have thought of that, they never dared to they didn't step foot into this level of pulling this off. And I'm just picturing now when you put the headset on and you're watching the movie, it's like you said, you're in the room with them. And I could just see something just happening out the blue when you have a movie shot like that. And it's going to make you jump, or you going to feel like you will get more into the movie. You will feel like they're talking to you also. So congratulations on that, Alex. I hope this is not the last movie you shoot like this. I really hope it's not.
Yeah, no, there have been, many others like sort of pioneers in this sort of subgenre of filmmaking that have already done incredible things. Chris Milk, Pierre and Felix out of Quebec. But, I think as far as I'm aware, we're the first ones to tell a full, sort of feature-length narrative story using this technology. So hopefully people enjoy it.
Oh, trust me, they will. They definitely will. Now, Alex, how excited were you when you found out that, your film premiered at the VR AR Expo?
Oh, no, I was thrilled. It was awesome. South by Southwest is an amazing experience for anyone who's had the opportunity to go there. Just seeing so many talented and creative people all around you, and just being able to interact and share ideas and watch people watch your movie is really, really cool, and see them get really excited and into it like that. It's a very, very gratifying experience.
Now, was it a big crowd out there? How was the crowd pop? How was it with people, around?
Well, it's kind of different with virtual reality movies because it's not like sitting in a theater. Everyone has their own headset. So what we basically did was we, over the course of 3 days, had headsets there, and people could reserve a time to watch the film, or they could watch clips from the film. And I think probably several hundred people over the course of the 3 days wound up watching at least a bit of the movie. So that was really cool.
That's nice, man. Alex, doing something like that and having hundreds of people watching your movie, and talking to you, Alex, I know you have a calm and cool ego, but it had to be at one time you wanted to say, I got to pat myself on the back. Job well done. It had to be. Because seriously. And if I was there, I'd pat you on the back myself. You've done it, man. You really have. And once again, I don't want to sound like a mockingbird or a broken record. Please don't let this be the last one. Because I believe with your story writing techniques and with you being a filmmaker, producing and coming out using the headsets, I believe if you get the right storyline, you can even give Star Wars and stuff a run for their money because of what you can do with your technology that you're using. So I'm going to be looking forward to this. And talking about being looking forward to something, are there any future projects or anything that you're actually working on right now that you're allowed to speak about?
Oh, yeah, sure thing. So right now, actually pretty soon after the release of Career Opportunities, probably in the next few months after that, we'll probably release a short film, which is a documentary set in Iraq. So we got virtual reality cameras into Iraq on the front lines with the war against ISIS, and had some very brave journalists there sort of film with the virtual reality cameras as the fighting was happening in sort of the northern and western part of Iraq, particularly around the city called Sinjar. When you view the footage, you can actually feel like you're there on the front lines in the fight against ISIS, and hopefully people can get a much better sense of what that, the horror of that is like, and just the sheer devastation that's been caused there after they see the footage. And that should be coming out, maybe a month or two after Career Opportunities comes out.
Nice. How long would the film be?
That one will be shorter. We're actually thinking of breaking it up into episodes. So the first episode will probably be about 10 minutes long, I think. And then there'll probably be 3 or 4 after that are similarly about 10 minutes long.
Will we see all episodes this year, or would it be spaced out within the months, like quarters, or?
Yeah, probably spaced out into months, maybe like one a month for a few months.
Okay, nice. Well, Alex, you make sure you stay in contact with me and let me know when they actually come out, because I will try to find a way to see it. And everybody that's listening worldwide, try your best to see career opportunities in organized crime. Make sure you check out this movie that's coming out soon. Well, there's going to be episodes, actually. Make sure you check out Alex on this. Now, Alex, here's a question I want to know personally myself. How important is social media to the movie industry these days, in your opinion?
Well, maybe I'm a bit of a Luddite or just lazy about my social media. I don't really do it as much as I think I should. But I know other people have made entire careers just out of Twitter. Donald Trump's running for president, I guess, based on his Twitter handle. Or whatever that's worth. So I know it's enormously important. My own Twitter, I don't think I've tweeted in months, but I probably should be, given the importance. My personal Twitter handle, in case anyone wants to see me tweet once every 4 months, is at ALEXOSH, Alex Osh. But we do have a Facebook page where we keep everyone updated on our progress, and that's facebook.com/Mafia Careers. If anyone wants to follow us there, and that one's updated much more regularly.
Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to the Facebook page, follow it, like it. Make sure you keep up with this, because, like I said, Alex is doing big things. You want to keep up with this guy's career, and it's bigger things coming. So make sure you do it. And like Alex said, if you want to see him tweet once every 4 months, jump on his Twitter. Right. Do it. Trust me. If he says once every 4 months, it's going to be something big that's going to drop. So make sure you follow him everywhere you can on social media. Make sure you try your best to find all his projects that he's doing, from his movies to everything else. Because, like I said, he's got a great career ahead of him, and he's not a rookie in this game. So he knows what he's doing. So make sure you follow him on social media, guys. Now, Alex, what is your ultimate goal in the movie industry?
Honestly, I think it's just to keep making movies, as long as people will let me. I really just enjoy every aspect of the process of doing it, and getting your sort of own ideas out there. So, if I can keep making movies, that would be phenomenal.
Okay, nice. Now, if you could pick one actor and one actress to star in your next movie, it doesn't matter who it is, past, present, or a future actor or actress that you know about that hasn't, had their shine yet, who would it be and why? In any type of movie, they gave you an unlimited budget.
Oh, wow, that's a good question. That is a good question. I think current actor. I was watching just The Prestige, the Christopher Nolan movie a couple days ago, and Christian Bale, I don't think he gets enough credit as being a really, really good actor. If I have to pick a modern day actor to work with, I think it'd be him. And who doesn't have a crush on Jennifer Lawrence? But actors from times gone by. Wow, there's so many greats. Probably Marlon Brando. Back before he was reportedly really hard to work with. Back when he was in his prime.
Right.
And maybe Marilyn Monroe. I mean, also another person who really didn't get enough credit for being talented as she was in her era.
And and since you mentioned Marilyn Monroe, do you think that if social media was back then, do you think that it would? Yeah. Do you believe that she would have been boosted up? I might be out of the ordinary saying this, but at least 100 levels higher than what she was already.
No, that's an interesting insight, actually. If she was able to control her own career instead of being reliant on others.
Right.
Yeah, probably actually. I think she probably would have done really well with that. Like, look at the Kardashians. I mean, they just sort of hang out and look at where their career has gone. Um,
That's
yeah,
true.
so yeah, probably. That's the one really nice thing about I think sort of living in this era of filmmaking is that you're not as reliant on big studios and massive amounts of money to get a film made. Like with a very very low budget, you can just go out, get a camera, and start making film, and no one can stop you. Uh, Versus back even 20 years ago, 10 years ago maybe, before the digital revolution in cameras really happened. Like you really couldn't without millions of dollars of Hollywood financing. So in some sense, it's a better time to be a filmmaker now than it's ever been in the past.
And that's true. I mean, did you ever think that this day would come, Alex, where people can just pull out their iPhone and shoot a movie off of their phone? I mean,
Yeah, and not just shoot a movie on their iPhone, but like shoot a really successful movie
right.
on their iPhone. What was it? The Tangerine? I hope
Yeah.
I'm not getting
Yeah.
the title wrong, but yeah, like it won. It was the best picture at Sundance a year and a half ago. Shot completely on an iPhone, and I mean those guys had a pretty solid career already actually in the film industry, but yeah, you can literally just pull out your iPhone, start shooting, and make a good movie. Um, so there's really nothing stopping anyone.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen that's listening worldwide, if you want to get into the movie industry, I mean, the only thing that's stopping you is yourself now these days. So, I mean, guys, if you have an iPhone, try it. If you have a camera, try it. See what happens. I mean, if you don't try, you never know what's going to happen. So, I mean, if you had the technology, and I believe, and I'm sorry, Android users, if 70 to 90% of the people are using iPhones now. That's in the industry. I'm talking about the movie industry, not worldwide or whatever. I'm not sure what the percentage is on that. But you can pull out that and just film somebody walking down the street. And I'm not telling nobody to do that. Do not become a stalker. But I'm just saying that could happen. You can film anything. You can film paint drying. Not saying it'll be a successful movie, but it'll look good though, on an iPhone. So guys, just try it and see what happens. If you don't try, you're not going to succeed because you didn't put the attempt to it. Now, talking about succeeding and everything, Alex, what advice would you give any male or female that wants to come into the movie industry as an actor or a producer or a filmmaker?
Oh, good question. So I think with the availability of anyone to sort of make movies now, what goes along with that is there's so much more content out there that it's really really important to have an idea or a new original idea that kind of makes your own work stand out. I don't want to say just pull out, just be really gimmicky, but try to have something innovative in there that makes your own work stand out from everybody else's. Because there's so many voices out there now that to be heard through all that, you really got to come up with something that catches the imagination when you put something together. So before you start, just put a little time thinking into it, like what will make my movie different from everybody else's, or make my acting or anything else different from what other people are doing currently at the moment, to sort of catch the attention above all the noise.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone took heed to everything that was said on this show today. If you're trying to get out there to become a filmmaker, actor, actress, producer, anything that you're trying to do in this industry, there's nothing stopping you. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you have the right technology. If you have the skills, show it. Trust me, it's going to get you somewhere. Look what Alex did once again. Made this movie, Career Opportunities in Organized Crime. And he used a 360-degree 3D camera, and you feel like you're sitting in the room with them for the whole time. So, guys, if you got something on your mind, jot it down, try to get it out there. Now, Alex, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I would love to have you back in the future.
Oh, no, and thanks so much for having me on, Coop. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. All right, make sure you have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Big Scoop with Coop. We did it again with Alex. We did big things. Continue to do big things, guys. Strive for your goals. Until next time, everybody, have a great night.